characters now. I saw an article about children even identifying as minotaurs. It's come a long way.
Really?
Yeah,
What? Children?
identifying as minotaurs.
Yeah, I thought it was a dog. I think we think things. Is that anything? Just because I spent like a day or two being a dog?
Just
Is that
put yourself in those shoes. That's what
It's
magic's all
interesting.
about, isn't it?
It's interesting. So I like decided.
Imagination's all about.
I think the dogs got treated quite well, so I decided to become one of them. So
Well,
I
I
just
guess
cruised
when
around.
dogs are being treated better than you, then you probably would want to be one, wouldn't you?
Yeah, yes, yeah. They seem to be
It's
the
only
thing to
natural.
become. Yeah. So I cruised around as a dog, and then my parent at the time, they were like tried to speak to me, and I was just barking
No,
and stuff.
dog mode.
Dog. And so I was fed with the dogs, and so I was given like a bone with meat on it and stuff to chew outside. I had to defend it from the other dog, which wasn't brutal.
That is the dog ritual.
Yeah.
Order
And
a
then,
pack. Must establish a pack order.
yeah, cruising around as a dog for the day. And then this is quite funny in a way. So as the parent didn't know whether this new dog in the house was toilet trained, then I just had to stay in the bathroom overnight.
Yeah,
Just in case so I had to peed
part
on
of the
carpet.
process.
And then I was like howling and stuff. And
Did she at least leave the paper on the floor for you?
yeah, so I'm howling and things and told her to be quiet and stuff. Close the door.
Scratching
And
you and stuff. Yeah.
I didn't know at what time of the night it took me to where I realized that I could open the door.
Yeah,
And
got into the character so well that they didn't realise the human paws could
forgot.
actually open the door.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, and I didn't really try and be a dog after that. Like I figured out that we had some level up.
The dog experience perhaps wasn't the one that you were looking for.
Yeah, even though it lived better than
The interpretation of
freedom,
human,
my degrees of freedom were higher.
as a human were high,
Yeah,
even though it
yeah.
didn't seem at the
It
time
lived-
to be that way.
It lived, yeah, more of the things, but less of that. Yeah. If you're going to escape something, you need more capacities, not less, to take away your own potential.
Naturally, yep.
Yeah, I was fairly small at the time, not ridiculously small, but I don't know if I was like, I don't know.
I guess that's where you find the difference in people where they look at an animal as a pet or a companion.
I think it's how they look at it, and I think that's also what it is. Because people use the term pet, but as you know, I'd prefer to use the term prisoner.
Yeah, pretty much pet is prisoner.
That's what it means. If I had a pet, if you're my pet,
It means I've got an obligation to look after you and to keep you prisoner.
yeah,
Because your safety is paramount, and if you're tired, anything happened to you, that's the pet.
The person on the pet.
Yeah.
Put the pet in the box.
I'd be devastated if you were to die or to be
That's a little chain.
harmed in some way. So I'll wrap you in cotton wool and you'll
Keep the pet. And having a prisoner requires, and that role then is the warden. And these things that we can define as, oh, that's how a dog behaves, that's what that is. It actually isn't. It's actually something that has no agency behaves. Like it's always like fanging out for food. It's because if it doesn't food off you, it dies. It's got no way of acquiring food. Like
it has no other means or ability.
Yeah, they know. It's not like they're ignorant of the situation.
No.
They're fucking completely acutely aware. Like
the prisoner knows it relies on the guard and the cook in the prison to make the food.
Because if you meet a dog in the wild, they don't behave like that at all.
No. Normally they're cautious of the human. They turn them into pets, man.
That's it. Chained them down. Lock them in a box.
Chain them in backyards for their
inside
to protect them
in an apartment in small things. I deliver things from massive bags of food and shit, uplifts in apartments, and then there's a dog going wild inside. You're just like, fucking dog is just stuck in a box up in the sky. It's just
all it wants to do is get out and be in the wild.
It's just freaking out, man. It's just freaking.
It's just stuck.
And it's also just I observe even the way. So if you meet a dog in the wild that's being defensive, the way it behaves is different as well.
It's territorial, side.
It doesn't bark and everything, going crazy shit. They're
pretty silent, and the only time they bark at you is and most times they don't bark.
No.
They do calls to the other dogs to let them know. Stranger.
If there's need. I'm not into the keeping of prisoners. I prefer friends.
Yes, companions.
Yeah.
That's how I term it.
It's things that, because you know what, if you're nice, those things will hang around.
Yes.
If you had like cats and dogs and shit cruising around just naturally, they would choose to live with you. They might move on. We've had cats before like that. They're just
just wild cat.
Like that, man. Yeah, you've had one around your house. You had to say no.
Cats turn up and just want to be friends.
That's it. Decide. Yeah. You don't need to have to like
ghost cat,
imprison them from birth and steal them away from their family.
Reaper cat turned up before Oscar died.
That's it.
For sure. Checking. That one's got the numbers on its head.